Start.
Good afternoon, respected sir and my dear friends. Today I am going to present about the comparison of the two poems. First one is Piano by D.H. Lawrence and the second one is the Piano and the Drums by Gabriel Okara. This is the image of D.H. Lawrence and Gabriel Okara. D.H. Lawrence was born on 11 September 1885 in England and died on 2nd March 1930. 2nd March is also today's date, and his occupation was novelist and poet. He belongs to modernism genre. His notable works includes Sons and Lovers, The Rainbow, Woman in Love, John Thomas and Lady Jane, Lady Chatterley's Lover. And next we have Gabriel Okara, born on 24th April 1921 in Nigeria and died on 25th March 2019, very recently in Nigeria. And his occupation was also novelist and poet, and these are some of his works. This is the poem Piano. Softly in the dusk, a woman is singing to me, taking me back down the vista of years till I see a child sitting under the piano in the boom of the tingling strings and pressing the small poised feet of a mother who smiles as she sings. So in this poem, the poet is trying to tell his feelings and emotions when he listens to the lady who is playing the piano. Then then this music and this piano draws him to his past childhood memories when he used to sit near his mother when she was playing the piano, and the emotions go so deep that his manhood is lost and he is lost into tears. And this is the piano and the drums. In this, when at daybreak of day at a riverside, I hear jungle drums telegraphing the mystic rhythm urgent, raw like bleeding flesh. Speaking of primal youth and the beginning, I see panthers snarling about to leap and eat, and the hunters crunched with spears poised. So in this poem, piano and drums, two instruments are taken, and the piano represents the European culture, and the drums represents the original African culture. In this, the drums symbolize, they are personified, and they symbolize the purity and the rawness and the culture of their times, that they like to play drums, but now the civilization has come and they are forced to piano is difficult to learn, and it is like imposed on them like Western civilization. So the two things are compared in these poems. In this, environmental imaginary is also used. And I lost in the morning mist of an age at a riverside keep, wandering in the mystic rhythm, 29 of jungle drums and the concert too. So drums is here personified, and pianos. These are some of the themes, the piano and the drums in this nature, childhood reminiscence and its effects. The theme of culture and conflict, innocence, dilemma, no place like home, then living a double standard life, acceleration, and here piano is taken in a negative sense. And in another poem, the piano is taken in much more a positive sense. In this, nature is shown, that how leopard and the jungles are shown in this poem, and childhood and reminiscence and effects, that the poet remembers his own childhood, what he had spent in Africa, and the theme of culture and conflict, that he belongs to Eastern culture, and now after the colonization, the Western culture has come, European one, and he is not able to cope up with that culture because he is much more used to his own native African culture. Innocence means in the poem we see at the daybreak. Daybreak is like pure and very fresh. There is no pollution and there is purity in it. So in this way, innocence theme is also shown. And then next poem we see Piano by Lawrence. In this nostalgia, the poet and the speaker in the poem, as soon as he hears the music of the piano, he is drawn back to his own childhood, and he is very innocent, just as he remembers the childhood, and he is not able to control his emotions. Then suffering and longing. Then when he hears all this music, then he wants to go back to the past, which is not possible, but he longs to go back. and relationship between the mother and the son is shown. Then conflict between the present experiences and the past memories. That how in this present situation he is not happy with the present situation, and he is constantly those past memories are haunting his mind. And in this poem, piano is taken in a positive sense. That this music reminds him of his childhood days. This is critical analysis of piano. Piano detailed a situation fully sufficient to evoke intense emotions. Lawrence expresses his reader to emotion, awakening in him resistance and response. The speaker of the piano has a strong memory of his mother's singing and is nothing but sweet. When Lawrence first drafted piano in 1908, his mother was alive and well, so no poem about her could have elegiac force. Then later he again wrote the same poem after his mother's death. Now this poem which he had written the second time, it speaks clearly not only of Lawrence's intense tie to his mother but of the struggle between son and lover. Piano is the only poem in which Sunday parlor is described, site for the deepest intimacy of his childhood, the source of passion that could shake him out of himself years after his mother has died. Piano is not a cozy poem but crafted to worry readers, placing us as Lawrence was placed at the fertile heart of discontent. Now this the piano and the drums. It is not piano versus drums or piano against drums, but piano and the drums. The poem speaks to a world in which contrasts coexist as distinct but mutual entities increasingly interdependent, where junctions become conjunctions. A world in which pianos and drums find equal expressions both by symbolism and direction, with a guiding vision of commonality rather than opposition, distanciation and conflict. So symbolism is expressed through piano and the drums. The drum symbolizes their native culture and the piano symbolizes the imposed European culture. The melody of both worlds, threshed in the interest of common humanity, is the harmony of this new age. Then the main poetic devices in the piano and the drums: imagery, that is the natural imagery, the rapport and rawness of that blood, flesh, all that raw and savageness is seen in this imagery. Then symbolism, that is piano and drums are symbolized as we already saw. Then personification, the piano and drums are personified like wailing piano and jungle drums. In this way they are given the qualities of human attributes. Alliterations, we see that the repetition of the first letters in the poem, and the poetic devices in the piano: enchantment, caesura, alliteration. There is nothing remarkable about it. All one has to do is hit the right keys at the right time and the instrument plays itself. A woman sings at the piano and the poet carries back to his childhood. These are the quotes on the piano which tells not only of the piano but of the life in more. Like piano is to play the piano is nothing. It is not a big deal. As poem is shown in the piano and the drums, that it is difficult to learn, but it is one has to just hit the right keys at the right time, and whatever the music will be, it will be the good one. And in by the quote by D.H. Lawrence, a woman sings at the piano. That he is saying that he hears the lady who is playing the piano, and he is drawn back to his own childhood. These are citations. Thank you.
Keep open there, yeah. Right, so there's questions pending.
Hello, Khushbu. My question is, you have any idea about the Lawrence another poem, The Old Sunday Evenings at Home?
Yes, in this poem, as we have seen that it is old Sunday evenings. The poet is drawn towards his childhood. That now those Sundays are no more new to him. They are very old. They are not the part of his own life. That joy, that happiness is not there in his current situation, in his current life. So those Sundays are now old, and therefore now he is describing the poem as an adult person, but he is missing all those moments. He is longing for all those moments.
Can you say something something about the poet's dilemma of the piano and drums?
Yes, the poet in this poem is very much confused about the European culture and the African culture. African culture is very much native one, but after the colonization, that now the people in the society consider that culture as like very much savage. Now, if he continues to follow his own African culture in the civilized world, then he will be considered as a out of date or like a savage kind of person. So he is forced to follow the Western culture, the European culture. And so the poet is not able to adjust between the two cultures, and now he is in dilemma that whether to follow this or this.